This is a recap of our December AYO Ambassador meeting. The AYO platform has had some really exciting new updates, and so this is what we had to share. We're super excited to announce that SEL mood check-ins are now available on the web platform. That means our students can now check in with their moods on any device, including their student Chromebooks and iPads. So the way that happens is students will log in to the platform, they'll click on Train AYO, and you'll see that there's a mood check-in card now available. Once they click there, then students are able to select their mood. They can check in as many times as they want throughout the day in between the hours of 7:30 and 4:30. Notice that there's a Get Support button, and that's for any students who may be in crisis and want to speak to an adult. Once a student selects a mood, there's an opportunity for them to enter in some more information either by text or by verbally speaking. After any negative mood, it gives students the opportunity to go to a questionnaire where there are going to be 6 different questions to try to gain some more information, like, did you get a good sleep last night? Have you eaten breakfast and lunch today? Is everything okay at home? And then the last question they have is, do you want to talk to an adult? If they click yes and click submit, what that's going to do is alert the counselor and administrator on the campus. Once students complete that mood check-in, it's going to suggest some strategies to help students self-regulate. So here you see that listening to music is suggested for a student who may be angry. Here, teachers can view their SEL data by grade level and by their class. Administrators can see it for the whole entire campus. So you just click on that widget and you can filter for all of the moods and filter for all students who have requested that they need to speak to an adult. From the student screen, you can click on any student's name and it will take them to their student profile. And that's where you'll see this picture in the upper right-hand corner where Emily has checked in that she's worried. There's going to be a graph below that to show how her moods have been trending over time. That's where you'll find any of the extra information that she shared about her current mood. It's important to note that students can check in on their school device, but they can also download the My AYO app and check in there too. And so we've seen data come from both of those places. So here's what that screen looks like whenever they say they want to talk to an adult. When a student says yes, that triggers a notification to be sent to the campus counselor and campus administrator. This is exactly what that email looks like. When the principal or counselor click on acknowledge, that will take them to the student's profile. The other type of notification a counselor or administrator could get is for a negative mood trend. So AYO will send an email for the 5th, 10th, and 15th day of the consecutive negative trend. They get a similar email notification seen here, but then there's also an icon that is located next to their name on the student's page. It will tell you what that alert is for. Our next super exciting news is that the student portfolio on the web is now live. So at Mesquite ISD, our goal is for every student to have a portfolio of work that is indicative of their potential, something that showcases their passions and their aptitudes that a student has built. So when a student logs into AYO, they'll see a new section in the menu called My Portfolio. Then they click on Create a Portfolio, and that will take them to a screen that looks like this. So some of the features in our very first version include a highlight reel of students' interest. It will show the leadership attributes that they're working on, extracurriculars that they're involved in, and every section has a place for students to add a reflection about that section. In future versions, we want students to be able to give personal touches, add custom backgrounds, attach and link photos, videos, sound clips. In future versions, we'll also make sure that it's accessible to teachers, to parents. We will make sure that that's shareable. But right now, this is the first version that students can test out. So show kids and let us know what works, what doesn't work, and some other features that you'd like to see. This third new feature is for teachers. An intelligent lesson planner is being developed, so teachers will now see a My Lesson section in the main menu. So teachers will first have to go through an initial setup schedule and choose parameters like your working days, which weeks you might rotate, your A and B days, if your class is a semester or year-long class. So if you see this section in your in AYO, we hope that you will go through, set up your schedule, see if it makes sense. Once you complete the schedule setup, it'll look something like this. So your classes will be preloaded and you'll be able to drag and drop them around if you want to adjust your schedule. On the My Lessons page, you can actually have multiple schedules set up. This schedule setup is really important because that's where it's going to show your schedule in a calendar view. Our first view that we have is a daily view, but in the coming weeks and month in January, we'll be able to expand that to weekly and monthly views. AYO already has the school calendar in mind, so it's going to mark off the days that we don't have school. You also have the opportunity to mark out your own days. Once your lesson scheduler is complete, you'll be able to see the opportunity to add content for each day. And that's what gets us to the actual lesson planner. Remember how we've talked about before that our vision is to provide tailored learning experiences for all of our students. And our goal is to make teachers' lives easier. So we've been exploring ways for artificial intelligence to support teachers during the lesson planning process. So this could mean maybe suggesting TEKs and making them more accessible during the planning process, suggesting information from resources like the Lead Forward field guides. Maybe it could suggest misconceptions by TEK. Maybe it could give us insights into which students have even shown mastery of selected TEKs. So in this first version of the lesson planner, it's basically a place where you can start typing up information. But this is just a rich text editor where you can add any information and links. This is what it might look like if it were to suggest TEKs for you to cover. It would already know what subject and grade level you're planning for. In case you wanted to change it up and maybe add an additional TEK, you'll be able to search by keyword or TEK itself. This is an example of what a completed lesson might look like in the planner. So notice in this example, we have the objective, we have different activities, misconceptions. This teacher has pre-planned out questions to ask during class, and there's links in there too. A cool feature we're really excited about is the ability to push these lessons straight to Google Classroom for students to access. And then we're looking for ways for lessons to be more accessible in the future. So this could be the possibility of grouping lessons by units and housing them in a lesson repository that right now is private, but maybe in the future we'll be able to share that with other teachers in the district. So that's kind of an overview of the lesson planner. We have asked so many different teachers and groups about what they would like to see in an intelligent lesson planner. And so if you have any ideas, the best way to get them to us and to our developers are to click on that support link at the bottom of your AYO platform. When you do that, you'll see a place where you can share feedback, and all you have to do is type in lesson planner idea or lesson planner feedback, type that up, and then submit it. We read all of those, and so we want to make this the best that it possibly can be for our teachers. I mentioned the My AYO app before, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the My AYO app is now available in the App Store and the Google Play Store for download by students. So they can take their phones or their iPads, their tablets, whatever mobile device they have, and they can go download the My AYO app. Only students with consent are able to log into the app, and the app is not for parents or teachers just yet. It is just for students. It's important to know too that the app is not a carbon copy of the web platform. There are additional features that are available in the app that aren't available on the web. But one thing is the same on both, and that is the SEL mood check-in. One thing to note about the My AYO app is that how students log in is just a little bit different than they're used to. They have to click on, they're using a private device, and this blue screen is a place where they basically have to say, I go to a Mesquite school. If they just type in MESQ and click on the first one, that's enough to get them to the regular portal sign-in page. But once they're there, they log in with their username and password. The first time it may ask them to create a PIN, and that's just for easy access to keep logging back into the app instead of having to go through the whole process again. So this is our roadmap for the next several months when it comes to AYO. We're going to continue building out that lesson planner. Right now, teachers cannot create any lesson plans in AYO. That's coming in July. The student portfolio is just going to get bigger and better, where we're making it more accessible to other users and we're adding additional sections. We're going to ramp up some parent outreach and reaching some new stakeholders. And we're working on content creation to add some videos, especially for our youngest users. Remember, the main way that we build stakeholder capacity is through the Teach Joy professional learning. And that's how we roll out the features of AYO. So this year, our focus has been on passions and aptitudes. Remember, it's a 3-part, 6-hour training that consists of these pieces and counts as our GT gifted update. And so this was a friendly reminder to ambassadors that professional learning really needed to be completed by December. So if you're part of a campus who hasn't been able to complete the 3 parts, just let us know and we can work with you and help you create a plan that works for you and your campus to get that professional learning completed. This spring, we're offering at least 5 courses of PFK credit so that we can continue building on what's been rolled out in AYO. These classes are all about real-world implementation of AYO, what it looks like in the day-to-day. So if you're really interested in that student portfolio piece, we have a pilot that we're going to start, and you can come learn with us about it and see how to implement it and start using it with your kids. We ended our meeting in our influencer groups. So at our first ambassador meeting, we had them choose a group where they could join and work with other influencers to make a larger impact in Mesquite ISD. For our time at this meeting, our ambassadors split into these 6 groups. They worked through an agenda and they started giving us feedback on the Teach Joy site. They started making plans for how they can create resources and look at materials that are going to be helpful for other teachers. And we're really excited about the work and thoughts that these people have and the questions that they're asking, and we're really excited to see where they go. That's a recap of the AYO December Ambassador meeting.